Yo, what's up everyone and welcome back to another YouTube video with your host Kenkukun, and today we got another Destiny 2 Trials Training video. Now, I've been taking my time before I dove into any of the content for this season as far as my Trials Training went. I needed to get myself in a good place before I could, give out advice. Now, I could have talked about all the, the tweaks and changes on the TWAB and this and that to look out for, but we also want to be ready for all the other changes that came into the game that you may or may not be ready for. Now, it took me a little bit longer to get adjusted to some of the things. But I think I hit a relative sweet spot. So one of the biggest changes that came into the game that people probably don't think about, and oh man, I love it. I love turning fast. I love all these options with my sensitivity. Um, it took me a minute. I did not use traction when it was out. I didn't like it. It messed up with my ADS sensitivity. That was number one. Now that they split my ADS sensitivity modifier and traction into two separate settings, which is now sprint turn scale, I can adjust those individually. I still don't like traction. I didn't turn it up to 8 because I found myself turning into walls and then getting caught on stuff and getting killed. And there's no point for that. I'm not telling you guys to run high. I'm not telling you guys to run low. But if you find yourself in a position where you are running into walls more often, you're getting caught on things, you might want to turn down the sprint turn scale. As much as you want to love traction, you might not be ready for it. You may never be ready for it, and that's okay. Don't try to throw that on and be, oh well, you don't run traction, that's so weird. Like, don't let some kind of like crazy dumb peer pressure or anything like that say, hey, in the back of your mind, man, I really should run traction, everyone else is doing it, or anything. Or you ran traction before and you're just not getting the feel of it anymore. But right now I'm still running a sensitivity of 10. I don't need to go up to 20. I don't need to be turning around at lightning speeds because I don't want to overturn and miss my shots, right? So I've stayed at 10. Now I have not played in trials. I've played very little comp. I've just been playing a lot of 6s, and I've actually been doing more PvE stuff this season. Some of the raids, some of the dungeons and whatnot. And then just other games, because when trials isn't here, it's whatever. But I've still been playing the game. I've actually enjoyed the raids that I've done on VOG, so that's a surprise. However, get your settings in order. Now I'm running just a 10 sensitivity. My ADS sensitivity is only a 0.8. I've adjusted it up and down. I think this is going to be the good spot for me. And what I noticed was I was using different hand cannons at one point in time. And when I would switch a hand cannon around, just between the different RPMs of hand cannons and the handling, I had to adjust my ADS modifier numerous times between 0.8 and a 1.0. I don't need to flick people. I don't need all of this. I don't need the speed. Where I don't need the speed, or where I can't use the speed, whichever one is more true, I make up for with my prepping and planning. I'm anticipating the play before it happens, which allows me to be hopefully a step ahead of the enemy, or at least I'm going to be aiming where I need to be well before the engagement even starts, right? Take it how you will. Oh, you just sit back, ADS? Sometimes depends on the map and the weapon and the position, but even if I'm moving, I'm already planning for the play, and I'm making sure that I am ready and prepared to make my engagement. So again, I don't need to make up for my lack of awareness. I don't need to make up for I didn't read the radar. I don't need to make up for I ran past someone snuck up on me. I'm trying to be very vigilant on my radar so no one can sneak up on me. So I don't run past people when I'm in the mix. I'm already fighting someone, and I know. I run under someone flying in the sky, and I need to turn around quickly, and nope, I'm already ready for that, right? I'm trying to anticipate the enemy's plays, so I'm ready as best I can to make the play I can in a very comfortable manner. So settings is a big thing. I just, wanted to talk about that for a moment as we get ready for trials. Now, a couple of keynotes. I've just been playing a lot of PvP. I've noticed plenty of, well, another big thing, maybe you've noticed it. Let me know in the comment section below. This is a big one. I believe sticky aim assist is a lot worse, and as far as I know, they haven't added an option for us to turn it off, which would be very, very, very nice. But sticky aim assist is way more powerful than it was before. I'll be aiming at people, and way more often my reticle, someone will run in front or behind the enemy I'm about to shoot and probably kill, and my reticle just way off to the side, whichever way the other person just ran by, for no reason. This is a really big issue. I've been seeing it more and more. So let me know in the comment section below, if that's one of the things you've been experiencing, or maybe it's just me. I don't run target acquisition, so I'm not increasing aim assist on any. You look at any of my helmets on any class, target acquisition doesn't exist except for this one. Okay. Yeah, I've been running, and we'll talk about this in a moment. Ken, you're lying. You're lying. Normally, I don't run it. Now, I was actually sniping. I wasn't even running my this helmet when I was using the sniper yesterday. So I wonder if I would have performed better with this. So keep that in mind. Aim assist may be a big issue right now, and a lot of people may gripe and complain about it when they get into a 3 setting, or maybe it's not that bad in 3s and you've already been playing survival, comp, and elimination, stuff like that. Keep our eyes peeled for the elimination Crucible Labs that comes out, where they're going to change up some of the things in Crucible Labs. Some of that stuff is going to come to trials. I talked about it before in a video. Another thing I wanted to point out is, the big things that are going to be ran, the Lorentz driver. Guys, I've used it here and there. I'm not going to say this is going to be my go-to gun for the season, but if I decide to snipe, this is probably going to be my go-to sniper. It's making me look like a good sniper, and I don't snipe in Destiny 2. I sniped in Destiny 1, not Destiny 2. If I can look good with this, there are going to be players out there that are going to look amazing with it for very little effort. So you're going to have to be ready. You're going to have to be very patient or vigilant, or you're just going to have to snipe them with this, right? I can't think of any other weapons that I've seen. Like in 6s, I've seen just a mess of everything. I've seen a lot of things. The Vex Mytho class. That's really powerful. That's really powerful. Be ready. So be ready to, battle that as an auto rifle. Be ready to fight the linear fusion. And if they haven't fixed it already, I don't know if they did. I don't know what the bug is. You guys can let me know in the comment section below, or you guys, cannot if you want. When the season started, if you ran a certain combination of weapons and mods, and I think that's all it is, with a linear fusion rifle, you could grab special ammo, and then it would spawn heavy into your heavy slot as well. I was seeing that. I don't know if I'm still seeing that or not, but I was seeing that a lot more when the season started the other week, and it's not even been 2 full weeks, right? Yeah. We're coming up on the 2nd week right here, coming into the 3rd weekend. So Trials was coming back weekend number 3. So with that said, that could still be a thing. If that's not addressed, Trials could possibly be canceled on the 3rd weekend. If it has already been addressed, then ignore what I just said right there. But be ready for that. So I would say Lorentz driver. A lot of auto rifles actually have been good. But I've seen a variety of weapons, but Lorentz driver and the Vex. If they have the Vex on their account, they're probably running it. I've been seeing in 6s yesterday. I seen a lot of hunters. I was playing on my hunter, getting done with my Iron Banner bounties. I'm not even sure if I'm okay. I did complete. Okay, so I'm done with all my bounties. I seen a lot of hunters. So I would like to say I've seen a variety over the course of the week and a half, 2 weeks that it's coming up on. I've seen a lot of different subclasses, a lot less chaos reaches, which is nice, but it can still be devastating. Remember that. Now, the other point I want to bring up is some of the things they took away. So they took away free peeking and with swords and emote peeking in trials. I've been saying it for a long time. People, you needed to get off those training wheels very long time ago. A very long time ago. You needed to be you needed to leave those alone. Now that it's come into play, you're going to have to play without them. You won't have the option to see what the enemy's doing and peek out and snipe them at the perfect head level. You won't be able to see where they're sitting until you get there. Now there are going to be some instances where you can 3-peek, right? You Warlock Rift and see around the corner. Sure, that's going to be, an option. You shade step into walls the whole time. Sure, that's going to be an option. Titan barricade. Sure, that's going to be an option, but it's not going to be permanent, and it's not going to be constant as 3-peeking was. So if you're not ready to adapt, you're going to need to be ready. And one of the big things is your awareness is going to need to be up. You don't want to cut a corner walking to 3 dudes and you're not paying attention because they weren't on the radar. They were just far back in the map and everyone was waiting to snipe you, right? Or triple bow or scout rifle blast. Like, you see what I'm saying? So be ready for it. Hopefully that hasn't, affected too much of your gameplay. Swords you cannot even pull out. So running a quick fang or anything like that on your hunter, just running a sword period at this point would be moot until heavy round. And even then I don't think swords are that amazing even with heavy. So it's up to you whether you run them or not. But I would go with something more powerful, a rocket launcher, or that stupid LMG that still has that unbreakable overshield half the time when they have heavy ammo or anything like that. I'm trying to think if there was anything else really big that they covered or that they did that I needed to cover. The Lorentz driver, they are taking away. They actually removed it from all PvP, I guess. I don't know about PvE, but for PvP, it's not even activated in 6s. I talked about it in a video. Someone brought it up in the comment section. That will no longer track people at all. It'll still mark them. They'll be red. You won't know who is marked and what to do with it. 1, 2, in trials, most of the time anyway, there's only 3 people. As long as they don't get a revive, you'll never get that perk off on the Lorentz. You'll never body shot someone unless you kill the same person. Unless you kill someone twice in one round. You have to kill at least 3, right, that are marked to collect the stuff. So if you're getting that perk to proc on the Lorentz driver, you're either messing around and farming the enemy team, or you're slacking and you're allowing too many revives to happen on the enemy team, which could also lead to a bad thing as well. I'm trying to talk into the mic. I didn't want to just right in my face, so if I'm a little bit quiet, I apologize. What else? Just, they made class changes. The Radiant Dance Machines came out and they disabled that. That never should have made it. Never should have made it to the season. The players never should have seen that. Wasn't working as intended. Well, I guess you weren't testing as intended. Yeah, I think that's about it. Subclass changes here and there. Icarus Dash, you can only dash once. I'm trying to think. It looks like I got nothing else. I thought I thought there was going to be a little bit more for getting ready for Destiny, but I did want to just really hammer home the point of your settings. If you have a tough time with your settings, you need to. I would say if you're still wondering about your settings, well, Ken, I still am uncertain what to do with my settings. I'm still having a tough time. If you're still having a tough time with your settings, you need to go find out what weapons you're going to use in trials, like the majority of the time. I would still recommend one special weapon and then a primary weapon, of course. And the heavy weapon doesn't matter as much. So you need to figure out, and it's really going to matter on your primary. And you need to go adjust your settings to that weapon, because your handling is also going to dictate. When I was swapping hand cannoners around, the handling mattered as well. The handling was making it feel like this was too low or too high. depending on what I put on. So find out what weapons you want to use mainly and set your settings to those weapons. And yeah, you know, if you switch your weapon, you may be a little off and may feel a little odd until you get used to it. However, your main weapons, the weapons you're going to use the most trying to get through to trials, that's where you're going to set your settings to accommodate for those. And then, you know, yeah, well, you won't be able to worry about, well, you won't want to switch your primary too often in trials because it may throw off your settings, but at the same time, you're going to be proficient with one, which hopefully you fighting with your team and playing off your teammates and your teammates playing off of you, it'll compensate for, well, this weapon isn't the greatest for this map or my positioning or anything like that. However, as a team, as a whole, I'm still performing at a level where I'm contributing quite a bit to my team. The only other thing I wanted to mention is, you know, primary ammo is infinite in the game. I haven't seen, you know, the abuse of fighting line yet. I don't know if it was nerfed so hard or changed so hard people didn't like it anymore in 6s. Once again, I've only really played 6s. I'll probably dive into some elimination as we lead up to the trials weekend, and if I start seeing certain things, I will come out with another video and address it there. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Oh yeah, with the infinite ammo, that also allows you infinite kinetic ammo. You'll be able to, you know, swap your weapons around as many times as you want during trials. So it's very nice that when you start a round and you're trying to engage the enemy and you're using a pulse and they're using a scout, your pulse ain't hitting the shots the way you need it, you switch to a scout, boom, you're set. You're ready to go. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Let me know in the comment section below if there's any other things that you've noticed throughout this season that a lot of people may be abusing, using, any out-of-bounds glitches that I'm not aware of that I can cover in another video, any infinite supers, crazy abilities, anything that's not as intended to the game or is intended to work as it is in the game and is just actually busted. And, you know... I need to be aware of that, and then other people would want to be aware of that. With that said, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing, thumb up, catch me on Twitch for live, link in the description below, and I will see you guys next time at the Lighthouse.